Welcome everyone. Just getting a little bit of an early start to introduce today's class and this online class program that we're going to be doing. We'll be working out the kinks like the lighting and the sound and different things. So I'll be doing this Monday through Friday at 10:30 a.m. California time every weekday. So it should progressively get better as I get more used to this process. Anyhow, just want to inform you, this is donation-based practice. There's a link to PayPal. You can give me any amount from small to large that you'd like. Suggested donations is $2 to $20 per class. If you're really struggling financially right now, then consider this a gift, but please share and like with the PayPal link so you can help me out, and I'll do the same for you, and we'll get through this shit together. Anyhow, I'm going to start also a different video camera, and I'm going to be posting this probably to a different platform, possibly Venmo or Patreon, for people who don't have Facebook. And I should be able to save this, and it will just be on my page, and people can watch later as well if you can't make this time slot. But anyway, very excited to be here. Thank you for joining, and we're going to begin in just a minute. So have comfortable clothes. You might want some water. Make sure the temperature of your home is just the way you like it. That's one of the advantages of doing this instead of practicing as a group. If you like open windows, you can have that. If you like running the heat really hard, you can have that. You can have everything you need. I won't be able to see you or give you adjustments, so pay extra attention to the different tips and form. And if you've never studied with a teacher before, this may not be the best as a learning platform, but you are welcome to join, and feel free to leave things out as well as bump up with your own modifications that you already know how to do. So I'm going to start my other camera now. And let's go ahead and actually just begin standing. So you can stand anywhere on your mat. Take a deep breath and work on the standing form. Have the feet parallel, the toes open, lengthen through the legs, work the tailbone down, have the abdominals in, feel a nice lift and expansive quality through the chest. Stand tall through the spine and let the arms just dangle down. So part of you is engaged and part of you is relaxed. You have that nice balance of both, just like you're working on a nice balance of breathing in, deep inhale, and breathing out, full exhale. Let go of all the breath. And continue your practice with the breath. In my opinion, the most important part of this practice is the deep breathing. So even if you have to refine or sit out a lot of different postures, if you stay with the breath from beginning to end, you're going to get lots of nice benefit. So let's go ahead and start by warming up the body slowly. Lift the arms a little bit. You can make the OK sign, call that Gyan Mudra. Elbows are slightly bent, and just twisting gently side to side. few rounds of that. Come on back to center, relax the arms, and now roll the shoulders. Nice shoulder rolls. Very smooth. And do both directions, looping out the shoulders, helping the shoulders, upper back, and trapezius muscles to warm up. And then go ahead and roll out the wrists. And then roll out the hips. Both directions. And we can do the knees, feet together, bending the knees and rolling out the knees. Do about 4 or 5 each way. And then stand tall. Inhale, arms lift. And exhale, hands to heart. Go ahead and relax the arms now. Have the feet slightly wide, feet parallel, and we're going to do a very light chair pose where you just bend the knees a little bit and lift the arms a little bit and come back to standing. Next round, you can do a deeper chair, or you can stay with that lighter variation. You lift the arms a little bit more, bend the knees a little bit more, and make sure it feels good on the knees. You can always do less and breathe more if you need. We'll come back to standing. And then third and final round. Go ahead and bend the knees very deep, lift the arms, really extend. And put weight in the heels, so you're building the posterior muscles, not just putting weight into the thighs and knees. The arms are open. If your shoulders hurt, you can have the arms less lifted, but otherwise hands together and the arms lifting. And then exhale, forward bend over the legs. You might need the feet wide, and bending the knees is a good option. Take the hands forward and walk the feet back. And lift the hips high. Have the head relax down. Really work on lifting the low back. If your hamstrings are tight, have your heels up and have the knees a little soft. Keep the neck relaxed, the head down. One more breath. And then soften the knees to the floor. And take child's pose. You can take any variation of child that you need. And keep breathing. Feel the deep breath assist in stretching your ribs and your spine. And take just 2 more rounds of very long breath in child's pose. Let's continue warming up, coming back to the hands and knees, rolling out the back, and lengthening the spine. Nice smooth flow, repetitions, rounding the back, and lengthening the spine. Several more rounds. When you're rounding the back, you have the option of lifting and squeezing the core more. And when you lengthen the spine, you don't need to overdo the back bending. We're still warming up. So just Enjoy a nice light transition. Do a couple more. Last round. And then exhale, push into the legs, hips high, commonly referred to as downward facing dog. A lot of people from old-fashioned styles of yoga call this mountain pose. You relax down through the back of the neck, lift the tailbone tall like the peak of the mountain, and press very strong through the hands. Remember your options: bent knees, lifted heels, and if it feels good on the legs, you tone the front of the legs and press deep into the back of the legs. Take 2 more breaths. Remember, when we do repetitive movement or holding poses, you can always add a little more or do a little less. Your choice. Just breathe. Put the knees back on the floor. Come to neutral and do a couple little bows. You hug the arms in. Just lower a little bit. Really hug the arms in. Repeat. Ground through the feet so you can use your core, not just your shoulders. Stay with the breath. And then when you're ready, we'll go ahead and lower all the way. And release to face down. Inhale, easy cobra, and exhale, lower. Again, inhale, easy cobra, just lift to your comfortable level without using the arm strength. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Hands lift. Arms back. Half locust. And then glide back down. Now keeping the hands on the floor, but the elbows hugging in. Lift the chest and the legs. Basic locust. Lower. Next is Cobra Pose. Inhale, rise to a level of stretch that feels good for you, and work on opening the shoulders back. The elbows stay bent. You don't want to overdo the neck, but do take a deep breath. And then 1 more round. Come on down. Use the core. Lift to neutral. Hands and knees. Tuck under the toes. Push into the legs. Downward dog stretch. Tailbone lifts. And knees on the floor. Rest in child. We may not be tired from the sequence yet, but we're just resting from an exhausting life. So enjoy the rest. It's always good to rest before your body's tired. So feel free to rest anytime. If you prefer to stay in dog pose, that's fine. From our resting pose, we're going to transition to take a step forward. So come to sitting or a kneeling position and take a big step up with the right foot. Have the knee above the ankle. If you step and your knee is pressing really far forward, keep carrying the foot up until the knee is above the ankle. And then we're going to take a nice twist where you have the right arm lifting and the bottom shoulder opening out. And then come on down, runner stretch. Next is warrior 1. You put the back foot down at a 45-degree angle, so the back foot's facing up a little bit and the front foot's facing forward. You can hold the thigh if you need. Otherwise, Lift the arms and take deep breath. Downward dog. Exhale. Glide back to the dog stretch and relax down the neck. Knees on the floor. Child's pose. Come on up to sitting or kneeling, and then take a big step up with the left foot. Left foot steps up, maybe step twice if you need. Remember to have the knee above the ankle, and take a deep breath. You might hook the right hand outward and use the thumbs, or if you have a block at home, try that for more height. We'll take a nice twist with the left arm up and open in the chest. One more breath. And exhale. Come on down. Next is Warrior One. Back foot down at a 45-degree angle. Rise up, maybe hold the thigh. If you have a little back pain, you can push on the glutes. But if it feels good, lift the arms. The hands could be wide if your shoulders or neck feel tight. Otherwise, hands could be together if that feels good. You don't want to bend the knee beyond the ankle, but just right above the heel is perfect. And we'll take just a little bit more time. Breathing. And exhale, relaxing. Hands to floor. Downward dog. And relax down the back of the neck. Push into the hands, very strong. Lift out of the shoulders. Spread the toes. Breathe deep. Knees on the floor. And child's pose. Sustain your child's pose and take some deep breath. Next we'll come back to the hands and knees. Have the hands grounded. Spread the fingers a bit. Tuck under the toes, and then lift the knees just a little bit for levitated cat. If your back feels sore, you can lift the knees higher, but otherwise it helps to have the knees close to the floor to strengthen the core more. Notice how your legs are active as part of the core, and that helps you to take a little bit of fatigue out of the wrists and arms and shoulders, using the legs to ignite the core more. And then we're going to go ahead and do downward dog. And the knees back to the floor. If you need to take a little rest, that's fine. But because we had so much fun that last time, let's go ahead and do that same pose again. Levitated cat, also called the grumpy cat. If you hold long enough, you'll understand why. Deep breath. And then knees on the ground. Soften down, hug the arms in. Reach back through the feet. And inhale, Cobra. Take the level of Cobra that feels good for you. Try and work into the mid-back and don't just overdo the low back. Feel nice openness in the heart and lungs. And exhale. Release. Use the core and lift. Push back. Downward dog and relax down the back of the neck. Let's go ahead and walk or lightly hop to the top of the mat and fold over the legs. Bend the knees, chair pose, Utkatasana. And then come to standing, Samastitihi. And one more round. Chair pose, Utkatasana, your level of chair, doing it very lightly or very deeply, your choice. Enjoy your decisions. Hands to the ground, downward dog. Deep breath. Adjust the feet back a little bit and then come to plank. Top of a push-up, shoulders just above the wrists. You don't need to push too far beyond the wrists. In fact, if your wrists are sore, it's better to have the shoulders less forward. Otherwise, we'll hold plank for a bit, maybe about 3 breaths without rushing the breath. Nice, long, deep breath to soothe the nervous system. Put the knees on the floor and exhale, lower. One more round. Inhale, Cobra. Exhale, release. Using the core, inhale, lift. Exhale, downward dog, and relax the neck. Next, let's put the knees on the floor and then turn to face sideways on the mat and walk or lightly hop the feet apart for a pyramid pose or Prasarita Padottanasana. It might help to come up onto the fingertips. You can also bend the knees a little if your hamstrings are tight. If you have blocks at home, you can hold the blocks, or you can work on strengthening the core, holding the invisible blocks like I'm doing now. Otherwise, let's take a couple more deep breaths here, trying to have a flat back and enjoying the stretch in the legs and hips. And then we'll add some movement, bending the right leg, pressing through the outer left foot, and going side to side. Done a few rounds on each side, come on back to center and draw into the abdominal muscles. Maybe hold the hips, stand up tall. And open up the arms, open the right foot all the way. If your knee and hip is tight, opening the foot extra can be very helpful. We're going to do Warrior 2. So go ahead and lunge with the knee just above the ankle. You can keep the arms relatively level. If you have a sore neck, you can do it like this. But if you don't need to modify, the traditional form is very good for both lengthening and building nice muscle tone in the upper body. Make sure your knee is opening so you get a good stretch in the hip and you protect the knee. We'll take 2 more breaths. Keep the back leg strong. And then relax the arms and the legs. And turn the back foot up and opening the left foot. Spread the toes, open the arms, take Warrior 2. Sometimes the hips tip, which is not the worst thing, but it's better if you can keep the hips level the core in, the knee open, and a nice steady eye gaze with the breath. And then relax the arms and the legs. Center the feet and hinge down, bringing the hands to the floor again. Bending the right knee once, then the left leg once as a movement. And now we're going to do that as a held stretch. So bend the right knee, hold. Press through the outer foot. Keep the spine long, the chest lifted, but the chin can be more neutral. And then other side, bending the left knee, pressing through the outer right foot, enjoying the mobility that we're gaining in the leg muscles, in the ankles, the hip, with the breath. Come on back to center. Next, try putting the left hand under the right side of the chest. And the height with the fingertips or a fist is great. Use a block if you have one. Hold the lower back. Twist the chest open. Look up only if it feels good. If your neck doesn't feel great, you can look neutral or just look down. But do work on opening up the shoulders and the chest. And then soften down. And bring the right hand under the left side of the chest. And take a nice twist where you hold the low back and twist. Open the right shoulder. Breathe. Come on down. Draw into the core one more time. Stand up tall. And then we're going to bring the feet a little closer together. And open the toes. Have the feet turning out only as much as your hips are flexible. So if you're tight, you don't turn out that much. If you're very flexible, you turn out all the way. And then bending the knees. You can use the hands on the knees. If you have a little sciatic pain or back pain, you can push on the glutes a bit. But if it feels good to have the arms up, you can do this for the goddess pose or the horse stretch, it's also called. Deep breath. You can go a little deeper for one or two more breaths, or just stay where you are or rest. Come on back to standing and relax the arms. We're going to work the feet closer together until you can lightly stand facing forward on the mat again. Take a deep breath. Gain your composure. Inhale, forward salute. Be neutral and draw into the core, or draw into the core, and if it feels good, add a standing arch. And exhale. Downward dog. Several deep breaths just to ground, feeling very grounded and soothed deep within. Let's go ahead and put the knees on the floor. We'll do a nice little child's pose again. Do whatever child's variation is your favorite and really enjoy that.
relaxing in the neck, staying deep with the breath, letting go with the mind. We're going to transition to either sitting or kneeling again. Be careful on your knees. And we'll take a big step up with the right foot. So, big step up with the right foot. And turn the left hand outward. Lengthen the back leg. And make a twist. Now, if you want, you could have the back knee down like we did already. Otherwise, this is a little bit more strength and balance. Come on down and have the back knee on the ground and take a half split. You can bring the hands back a little bit, use extra height, work on lengthening the spine. And then let's come back to runner's stretch. Downward dog pose. Tomorrow's class is Vinyasa Yoga, so more heat, more movement. And if you'd like to add in a Vinyasa now, you can, but otherwise we'll just hold dog pose, or even child is perfectly fine. We'll all meet up in child soon enough. So if you were there already, good job. You won the race. Relax your head. And we'll come on up to either sitting or kneeling. And then with the opposite leg, most likely the left side, but whatever is the side you haven't worked on, left leg forward, back leg extends, right arm down, left arm up, rotated raised runner. If your back is sore, bending the knee is good. If you're able to really engage and tone through the back leg, do that. And go ahead and exhale. Come on down. Back knee on the ground. Bring the hands back. Lengthen the back leg. Flex the toes. Center the hips. Reach forward through the chest. Have a neutral neck. Several breaths here. The hamstrings tight. Bending the knee is good. Come back to runner's pose. Downward dog pose. And knees on the floor. Elbows down, just as wide as the shoulders. Walk the legs way back and take plank on the elbows. If you want to rest, we're going to Sphinx eventually, which is like Cobra, but on the elbows. You can do that sooner as you see fit. Otherwise, we're holding plank on the elbows just a little bit more. And then enjoying a nice stretch in the Sphinx. Work on lifting the chest. If you feel tight in your back, having your arms wider and maybe further up is good. The traditional form is having the elbow below the shoulder, but elbow in front of the shoulder works great. You just don't want the elbows too far back. You do want to lift the chest, expand in the heart and lungs, enjoy the breath. And then, as an option, you can lengthen the arms, keeping the shoulders down, but the sternum lifting. Keep reaching back through the feet. Breathe. put the left arm under your head, bend your right leg, and stretch the right quad. Tuck the tail and draw into the core a little bit as you have the front of the hips pushing down. So you just want to keep the spine neutral. You're not overdoing any engagements. You're just working on keeping the spine neutral, and that's easier on the back and allows you a deeper stretch into your quadricep. The foot can also go wider than the hip when you start to get lower. 3 more breaths here. Switching sides. Deep stretch. This is called half frog pose. You can enjoy the stretch at your level. Couple more rounds of the breath. Enjoy the soothing quality of the exhale. Inhale will help you to be a little bit more energetic and expansive. The exhale is a really great opportunity to let go and enjoy soothing the body and mind with the breath. And we'll go ahead and release the stretch. Take a round of locust, where you lift the legs and chest and extend the arms back. One more breath. Lower with the exhale. Place the hands a little higher and a little wider than the shoulders. And next we're going to do a sustained cobra. If you lift and it feels not so great, you could come down. Try the hands even higher and wider, or do Sphinx again. A blanket under the stomach can help a lot too if you have a blanket or a towel. Don't lock out the arms, but do relax the shoulders back so it's a nice stretch for the chest. Keep reaching back through the legs and the feet, and do your best to keep the pinky toes on the ground. That arranges the thighs in a way that prevents compressing the sacrum and low back. Take 2 more breaths. You can always hold less or more. And exhale, release. Bring the hands alongside the hips. Rotate the head to the right. And just relax. And then head turns the other direction. And again, relaxing and breathing. Head comes back to center. side of the chest. Let's lift to neutral and then hold a plank. Have a very flat back or even a rounded back. Shoulders above the wrists. From plank, take downward dog or child's pose. Next we'll do the knees on the floor. Extend the right leg back. Lift just as high as the hip, toning around the knee, and lift the left arm. Switch the sides. Extend the left leg, lift just as high as the hip, make the leg very long and strong, and lifting the right arm. And we'll go ahead and release and adjust to sitting. Lean to the side. Bring the legs out from underneath. Draw the hips back. Maybe sit on a blanket if you have one. Lift really, really tall, and then lift the arms. As an alternative, you could just push into the floor to sit up tall. Otherwise, lifting the arms will be great for opening up the armpits, chest, and shoulders, and helping to strengthen the spine. We'll work on really lifting, but also setting the shoulders a little bit. So you're not tense around your neck, you're strong in your core, the legs are active, and also the feet. Keep that nice lift of the chest that we've cultivated and take a forward bend. If you can't touch the feet, you can just bend the knees, hold the ankles, eventually you can reach the feet. Mainly reach forward through the chest so you're not slouching too much. Have a neutral neck. Lift the heart and let go of the head. Breathe. Let's go ahead and release from that stretch. That was nice. Bend the knees a bit. Make sure the sitting bones are comfortable. Sitting on extra padding could be great. We're going to lift the knees into the chest. Hold the arms out or hold the legs on the ground. Stay like this with the knees as high as the chest, or if you can keep the knees as high as the chest and extend the legs, then we'll do Navasana. Knees high and chest high. Deep breath. And then feet to the ground. Feet together. This next pose is diamond pose. It kind of looks like butterfly or Baddha Konasana, but it's different. You want to be pretty long. So not so long you can't have the heels and the balls of the feet sealed, but quite long with the sitting bones back. And that will target the stretch into the hamstring connectors and the low back more effectively. And we'll just relax here, letting yourself ease into it. Enjoying. long hold. We'll go ahead and lift. And lift the knees. Scoot up on the mat so there's room to lower behind you. Now when we do the recline sequence, you'll need to really listen to the description because it will be difficult to see and do it at the same time. So listen to the words of the instruction. You can just lower directly, or if you want to try one more strengthening sequence, you can take a Navasana, high Navasana, and then low Navasana, just hovering off the ground, staring at the toes, and then relaxing completely all the way down, and letting it out a little bit with the breath. Bend the knees, and next, bring the feet together and open the knees for Baddha Konasana. Have blankets under the feet, lengthen the back of the neck. If you need, you could have cushioning under the head. And let me remind you, the blankets under the feet is just if you have low back pain. You should be fine without any props, but if you're feeling discomfort, you can cushion the knees. That helps the knees and hips. If you're feeling low back pain, put something under the feet and arrange your arms however it feels really good. Sometimes it's nice to place them under the head, or you place one hand to solar plex, one hand to heart, and you breathe into your hands and you enjoy that soothing experience of really feeling the breath. And go ahead and lift the knees. And slowly take a nice deep knees to chest. Give yourself a hug. And if you'd like, gently rock side to side. Feet to ground. If you have a block or a blanket, you could try that under the hips. Otherwise, just using your hands under the hips or nothing at all works. We're going to point the feet and lift the legs, extending the legs until the ankles are above the knees and hips. We're going to try and hold this for about a minute, but if it doesn't work for you, come down sooner. Otherwise, enjoy the inversion for the legs. This is very good to take gravity out of the feet, enjoy nice healing qualities of the blood flow, reversing, and breathing. Let's go ahead and release the feet to the ground. Come back to knees to chest. Give yourself a really nice hug, well deserved. And again, choose to be still or gently roll around on your back. You could take a wide knees to chest as an alternative, or happy baby. Ankles above the knees, knees widening, work the lower back down, lengthen the back of the neck, and enjoy happy baby, just like knees to chest. You could add the rock. One more deep breath in the happy baby. Enjoy going deep into the hips. And then relaxing feet to the ground. Have the feet wide. And bend the knees in. Feet come closer together, knees to chest. Open the arms, and then take a basic twist with the legs to left, body twisting right. If you know variations of intermediate twists, please add those. Otherwise, the basic twist usually works out really well. If you feel like you need to modify the stretch, you can put your arm under your legs. But to use a little leverage, it's nice to take the left arm to the right thigh. Do the best you can to keep the right shoulder blade round so that the twist is working into the middle spine, not just the low back. Stay with the breath. These reclined twists are very soothing on the nervous system, so you can really enjoy that before we take our Shavasana. And let's go ahead and take the twist on the other side. Notice how you feel. If one side is a little tighter, it would be good to do that side slower, but a little bit of extra time. Or you could always come back and do it twice. There's actually many advantages of practicing individually at home like this, because in class we feel like we need to keep up with the group, but at home we do exactly what our body needs. And when we have one side that's a little tighter, sometimes we need to really adapt and adjust that. And that's fine. That's very normal, actually. So enjoy customizing the practice to your specific needs. Stay with the breath. We're relaxing more and more to prepare for a very deep and and wonderful reclined meditation. When you feel nice and complete with both sides of your stretch, we'll come back to knees to chest. And we're going to take Shavasana. I'm going to do about 5 minutes, and then I'm going to give you some information about ongoing videos. If you'd like to turn the volume down and do a 15-minute Shavasana or any level that you'd like, that might be a great idea. So feel free to adjust as you need. When you're ready, we're going to put the feet on the floor, lengthen the legs to the ground. If you need, maybe something under the knees, cushioning of some sort, under the head could be good. Cover the body for warmth with extra clothes or a blanket, and arrange your arms any way you like. Take a couple more deep breaths. And then let the breath release to more of an effortless, natural breath. So the breath is not shallow, but it's not expansive anymore. You just observe the flow of the breath. Watch the breath, just like watching the ocean tide on a very peaceful day down by the sea. Let the breath flow and just observe. Observe your experience objectively with non-attachment as best you can. If things arise, just observe it and let it flow by. Take this time to release from the burdens of the world and really enjoy letting go of the body and just observing. Wiggle the fingers and toes. Deepen the breath. knees to chest. Give yourself one last hug and just appreciate yourself for having taken time to practice today. Let's gradually adjust to a comfortable seat. Sit any way that feels good on your legs and allows you a nice tall spine. We'll conclude practicing with one clearing breath and one Om. So breathe in through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. And then inhaling for a nice resonant Om. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me today. And thank you so much for your contributions, tuning in. It really does help us out a lot. My fiance and I are having a baby in about a month's time, so we're very grateful for any contributions, sharing, liking, commenting, donations, and we'll be continuing doing this so long as classes are limited. Half of my classes have been canceled at this point, and it's very likely that I will only be doing online classes for a little while until further notice. So very excited to be offering this with you all. Thank you for your comments and letting me know how I can improve. Looking forward to more soon. Tomorrow's class is going to be the same time slot, 10:30 a.m. California time, and we're going to do vinyasa. The schedule currently is Monday Hatha Yoga, Tuesday vinyasa, Wednesday gentle yoga. We'll have an easy day to get over the hump. Thursday vinyasa, Friday Hatha Yoga. So please tune in daily if you'd like. And yeah, we'll look forward to a variety of different yoga practices. And if the weather gets good, we'll do maybe some outdoor scenery as well. So thank you again. Take care, everybody. Take care of your loved ones. Namaste. We'll see you soon.